the 24-hour clock. Hello kids, I am Miss Nancy. Today we will learn about the 24-hour clock. So, shall we begin? Look at the 24-hour clock. It helps us to know the correct time of the arrival and departure of trains, planes, and long route buses without confusion of AM or PM. Arrival and departure times are usually stated in the 24-hour clock time. Let's understand it in a better way with an example. Andy is traveling to Delhi by plane. If the departure time of the plane written on the ticket is 8 o'clock, then Andy will be confused because he does not know whether the plane will take off at 8 o'clock in the morning or at 8 o'clock in the night. Now, to avoid this confusion, the 24-hour clock is used. Look, the plane ticket shows 2000 hours. It means departure time is 8 o'clock in the evening, that is 8 p.m. It starts at 0 hours and ends at 24 hours. 4 digits are used in the 24-hour clock as shown. At the end of the 4 digits, we write H. The first 2 digits show the hour. The next 2 digits show the minutes. The letter H stands for hours. AM or PM is not used. Let me show you how to convert the 12-hour clock time to 24-hour clock time. Depending on the time intervals, the conversions are carried out as follows. 1. For the time from 12 midnight to 12:59 a.m., subtract 12 from the given time. For example, if the given time is 12:35 a.m., then subtract 12 from 12:35, which gives 35. We write it as 00:35 and we read it as 35 hours. 12 midnight will be equal to 12 minus 12 is equal to 0 hours. 2. The time from 1 a.m. to 12:59 p.m. is written as it is in hours. For example, change the time 3 a.m. to the 24-hour clock time. It will be written as 03:00H. It is read as 300 hours. 12:30 p.m. is equal to 1230 hours. 3. For the time from 1 p.m. to 12:59 p.m., add 12 to the given time. Let's see how. Change the time 5 p.m. to the 24-hour clock time. Thus, 5 p.m. is equal to 5 plus 12, which is equal to 17. We write it as 17:00H and we read it as 1700 hours. 9:35 p.m. will be equal to 9:35 plus 12 is equal to 2100 35 hours. Now, let us see the conversion of 24-hour clock time to 12-hour clock time. Even here, depending on the time intervals, the conversions are carried out as follows. 1. For the time from 0 hours to 59 hours, add 1200 hours to the given time and write it in AM. For example, if the given time is 15 hours, then add 1200 hours to 15 hours, which makes 12:15 AM. 50 hours will be equal to 50 hours plus 1200 hours is equal to 12:50 AM. 2. The time from 100 hours to 1159 hours is written as it is in AM. For example, 1125 hours is equal to 11:25 AM. 115 hours is equal to 1:15 AM. The time from 1200 hours to 1259 hours is written as it is in PM. For example, change the time 1245 hours to 12-hour clock time. It will be written as 12:45 PM. 1220 hours is equal to 12:20 PM. 4. For the time from 1300 hours to 2359 hours, subtract 1200 hours from the given time and write it in PM. Let's see how. Change the time 2200 hours to the 12-hour clock time. 2200 hours is equal to 22 minus 12, which is equal to 10 PM. 1555 hours is equal to 1555 hours minus 1200 hours is equal to 3:55 PM. Kids, wasn't it fun learning the 24-hour clock? Now, I want you to try some examples at home.
AM and PM and the 24-hour clock. AM and PM are abbreviations that tell us whether the time occurs in the morning or in the afternoon or evening. AM occurs in the morning. It stands for ante-meridiem, which means before midday. You can think of it as before noon. PM occurs in the afternoon and evening. It stands for post-meridiem, which means after midday. You can think of it as afternoon. In the AM-PM system of time, which is what most people use and what you are used to seeing, a 12-hour clock is used. That means that the morning goes up until 12 o'clock noon. It starts over again with 1 o'clock and goes through 12 o'clock midnight. In contrast, a 24-hour clock does not start over after 12 o'clock noon. The next hour, which we normally think of as 1 o'clock p.m., is 1300, then 1400, etc. Time goes all the way up until 2400 midnight, which can also be called 000 because it is the start of the next day. Let's look at a few examples. What is 7 o'clock p.m. on a 24-hour clock? 7 o'clock p.m. is afternoon, so this is 7 hours past 12 o'clock. We can simply add 12 plus 7 equals 19. Answer, 1900. Note that AM and PM are not used with a 24-hour clock. It is 2110 hours. What time is it on a regular 12-hour clock? It is past noon, so let's subtract 12 hours to see how far past noon it is. 21 minus 12 equals 9, so it is 9:10. The minutes won't change. It is PM because it is afternoon. On a 24-hour clock, it is 6:55. What time is it on a 12-hour clock with AM/PM? Since it is less than 12 o'clock, the time will not change. This is before noon, so it is AM. Answer, 6:55 a.m. What is 12:05 p.m. on a 24-hour clock? 12:05 p.m. is just barely in the afternoon, but we don't need to change the time at all because it hasn't yet started over with 1 o'clock. Answer, 12:05. This makes sense because if we were to subtract 12 hours and get 0:05, this would only be 5 minutes into the day. That's the time right after midnight, not right after noon. Let's recall what you have learned so far.